baby, bye, bye, bye.
That's me, and that's VideoCube for Atari. About 6 months ago, my friend got one of those emulating consoles with hundreds of old games. Then we decided to go to the mall. We came across a game called VideoCube. As a cube myself, this intrigued me, so we played it. It was finicky as all Atari games are, but this one stood out to me.
Oh, great heavens!
My friend was completely unimpressed, but me? I think I was probably shaking.
You okay?
Am I okay? I mean, look at this thing. It's a cube on a very old console. It has a rotation animation and everything. How did they even do that? The animations, the colors, the fact that it's on the Atari 2600. Well, honestly, I don't know much about the console, except that there are not many games like this. Like, this is unusual. So it's settled. I have to take my shot at this. I'm already using GameMaker, a 2D game engine, which means the cube has to be coded from scratch. Well, the engine does have 3D capabilities if you wanted to use them. Me personally, I would rather jump out the window. It's a personal thing. So first I had to make this cube. Now it's not really a cube, it's just a bunch of code that looks like a cube. But isn't that what all cubes are? This process was quite the adventure, and if that sounds interesting to you, then you should check out my last video where I explained how this cube was made. It's nothing to sneeze at, even with allergies.
Bless you.
Bless you. Now, making the cube is only half the battle, they say. Next thing I had to do was make this actually work. See, in the original game, what happens is you walk around this Rubik's cube-like entity and swap the stickers around. Basically, you're this short king who walks around with the color. When you press the button, he becomes a color that's under him and places his color down. So basically, he swaps colors with the floor. Now this could be seen as racist, if he wasn't completely alone in his universe. Now these stickers, they're quite the bunch. I don't want to get too technical here, but I will. Sit down, this won't hurt. Remember this diagram from the last video. Basically, it's an unfolded version of the cube we have. We split each of these squares into 3x3s, or however big we want the puzzle to be. So basically, we just have 6 of these tiny grids that make up the whole map. Each of these little squares need to have a color, so it needs to hold that information. For example, the sticker number 01 on phase 2 is yellow. This is sort of the position system we have. We have the phase number and we have X and Y of the sticker. But all these stickers means nothing until we add
To player.
That is me, hello. I put myself in the game using a process called digitization, but that will be the topic for the next video. The player works similarly to the stickers, except while all stickers are kept on the map, the player only has its position, which is the current phase, and X and Y. Spread out, this is essentially how the player moves around the cube. Of course, every phase change makes the cube rotate with the animation we made with blood, sweat and tears. The only complex part of this is matrix rotations. What? Okay, it's not that bad. If you ever make one of these moves on the cube, it causes a rotation, and now these grids need to be rotated as well. The solution for these calculations will be your homework until the next video. Good luck! Oh, you're back! Hello again. Well then, we can move on with some fun stuff. When testing, I had these weird lights on the edge to indicate which phase they were. They were temporary, but I ended up liking them, so I decided to add these obtuse triangles, because they look super dope. Also, I gave them some neat animations for the optimal experience. Then I made this font, which was both easier and harder to make than it looks. The final touch was to actually turn this into a game. I had the thought of using the cube code to make a creative menu system, but it was left out due to budget cuts. So I made this other simplistic but only satisfying menu instead. It does the job and I think it fits the theme. It even has this cool completion chart. Oh, what's that? Game modes. Well, the normal mode is what you'd expect. You move around the cube and swap stickers. The main rule is you can't stand on a sticker that's the same color as you. I also added a Zen mode where you can step on the same color as well. Speedrunning this one could be really fun and less frustrating compared to normal mode. I wanted to add an annoying and an overall unpleasant mode as well. Enter the blank mode. This is the least ableist of the game modes, as it evens the playing ground between people who can and cannot see colors. If you can't see at all, you should probably see a doctor. Check the description for the game link. It has a controller support and everything. And don't forget to check in next week for digitization, the forgotten art of immortalizing objects from